The reading is from Mark 1, verses 21 to 28. They went to Capernaum, and when the Sabbath came, Jesus went into the synagogue and began to teach. The people were amazed at his teaching, because he taught them as one who had authority, not as the teachers of the law. Just then a man in their synagogue, who was possessed by an impure spirit, cried out, "What do you want with us, Jesus of Nazareth? Have you come to destroy us? I know who you are, the Holy One of God." "Be quiet," said Jesus sternly. "Come out of him." The impure spirit shook the man violently and came out of him with a shriek. The people were all so amazed that they asked each other, "What is this? A new teaching, and with authority? He even gives orders to impure spirits, and they obey him." News about him spread quickly over the whole region of Galilee.
Good morning, everybody. Very good to be with you at Harrowby Lane again. Still on a screen, I'm afraid, but I'm looking forward to when I can be with you in person again. And we're really grateful to everybody who's enabling all our online worship. Now, I wonder whether you believe that people can change. Can a leopard change its spots? Can an old dog learn new tricks? Well, at the very heart of our Christian faith is the belief that by the grace of God and by the power of God's Spirit, and in particular by joining our lives to Jesus's life, we can change, and we are being changed. We're growing. We're growing, as the writer to the Ephesians puts it, to the very height of Christ's full stature. What a change there was for the man with an evil spirit to encounter Jesus. It may all sound a bit weird to us, but in those days, people put all kinds of physical and mental illnesses down to evil spirits, as well as behavior, which we would perhaps describe as evil, having made a moral judgment. Whatever this particular man's problem was, Jesus dramatically and decisively changed him and his situation. And we see it again and again in the Gospels. Jesus changes people's lives by healing them, or calling them to change, or inspiring them to change their way of life. Some even went on to give up their lives for him, as he did for them and for all of us. And of course, that didn't stop happening at the end of the first century. We can tell many stories of saints in every age, the well-known ones, but then there are the countless millions of stories of Christians in every church that has ever been, who are changed and changing people, because through Jesus we encounter the love and the Spirit of the living God. And knowing we are loved, we are inspired and empowered to change more and more into the pattern of Jesus, in whom we see God. There are sometimes spectacular moments, as there was for the man who met Jesus that day. There are sometimes sudden conversions, and there are sometimes life-changing experiences along the way. But it is also a lifelong process. I ask myself, if I'm working with God to make the best of me, I wonder how much better I know him than I did when I was 54, 44, 34. That gives you a good clue as to how old I am now. Not that older people are necessarily more in tune with God than younger ones. This is not about age, but about progress with God. But I've been working on this, and God on me, for a long time. I hope I've made some progress by the grace of God. And then I look at the world with all its problems. Has humanity changed that much since Jesus lived under the rule of Roman invaders, faced religious bigotry, and knew about poverty and sickness? Well, the world is better in lots of ways. I'd rather live now than then, but we still have plenty of faults and plenty of problems. You don't need me to list them. If Jesus meant to change the world, how far has he got? We don't know how he thought what he said and did would be affecting the world 2,000 years later, but it's clear God is in this for the long term. When Jesus encountered that evil spirit, however we understand that, he told it to be quiet. We are in Mark's Gospel, chapter 1. This is only the beginning of all that Mark has to tell us about what Jesus said and did. For Mark, the real proof of who Jesus is and what he came to do comes at the end of his gospel with Jesus's death and resurrection. Mark and Jesus want us to stay with them for the whole story. So for now, watch and listen. Take in the whole, see how God works, not only in the big moments, but through the whole of Jesus's life, the whole of our lives, the whole human story. There can be times in our lives when we're changed in an instant by an experience, a person, a realization, any of which may be an encounter with God. But there is also the long, gentle pull of God's love on us, like the gentle pull of gravity. God draws us to himself all through our lives. And the more we move, and the sooner we move, the more we are blessed, and the sooner we are blessed by our life in him. And the more and the sooner the whole human race moves towards the one who loves us and calls us, the sooner we will have a just and peaceful world. Amen. And God bless you all.